Welcome, chosen ones. You have found your way here, and this is no accident. You are part of a journey far deeper and more meaningful than the surface of this world can reveal. Whether you have been aware of it for years or are just beginning to awaken to this reality, there is a divine purpose behind everything you are and feel. There is a reason why you feel different, separate from the ordinary. There is a reason why your soul has always yearned for something more, something higher and more transcendent. Today, we are going to dive deep into this question. We are going to talk about you, about your unique journey, and about the silent and powerful transformation that is happening within you. A shift that not everyone can see, but that you feel intensely in every fiber of your being. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever looked back on your life and wondered why, since childhood, you felt older than your chronological age suggested? Why did you carry an invisible weight that others seemed not to notice or understand? You saw the world through eyes that seemed to have witnessed more than your years of life could justify. You may not have understood it at the time, but deep in your soul, you knew that you were different, special, chosen for something greater. Many of you may have struggled with this sense of being different. You may have felt misunderstood, out of place among friends, and sometimes even within your own families. But now I ask you, what if those early struggles, those moments of loneliness and misunderstanding, were never mistakes? What if every challenge, every tear shed, every sleepless night filled with questions was actually preparing you for something extraordinary, something that transcends common understanding? On this journey of self-discovery, we are exploring a theme that many of you have experienced without perhaps realizing its profound importance. We are talking about the phenomenon of the chosen ones, souls like yours who often appear older and more mature in their youth, but who, in some mysterious and beautiful way, seem to grow younger as they physically age. We will delve into the inner struggles you faced, the apparent chaos that was actually shaping you for a greater purpose. We will explore the fears and anxieties that seemed to hold you back, but were actually forging within you unparalleled strength and resilience. All of this, every moment of doubt and every quiet victory, was part of a meticulously crafted divine plan for your life. At the beginning of this journey, you may have felt lost and confused. Your sense of identity and personal style were constantly changing, reflecting your inner search for your true self. You were uncertain about who you were or where you were going. But over time, something profound and transformative began to happen within you. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, began to work through you in ways that you are perhaps only now beginning to understand. He calmed the inner storms that raged within you, bringing a peace that transcends all understanding into your hearts. And as this divine peace grew within you, it began to manifest itself outwardly. Now, when you look in the mirror, you see someone who has been transformed. It is not just a physical change, but a profound spiritual transformation. You see someone who carries the unmistakable glow of inner strength, of divine purpose, of the living presence of God. This light that emanates from you cannot be explained by the ordinary standards of the world. It is a living testimony of the divine work in your life. This journey we are exploring speaks directly to the heart of your unique experience. Let's discover together why your appearance, your energy, and your spirit seem to defy the natural laws of aging. As you move closer and closer to the person God created you to be, you will experience a renewal that goes beyond the physical. It is a renewal of the soul, of the spirit, of your deepest being. So I invite you to join me in this exploration. What you are about to hear may be just the confirmation your hearts have been longing for. There is something special about you, something that has always set you apart from the beginning of your lives. You carried the weight of the world in your eyes even when you were young, a maturity and inner wisdom that shone through your being but was not always understood by those around you. People looked at you, puzzled, wondering why someone so young seemed to carry the knowledge and depth of many lives lived. You were not like your peers. You did not laugh with the same carefree ease. You did not fit into the molds that the world tried to impose on you. And this inevitably made you feel out of place, as if you were constantly searching for something that you could not name or define. Many of you, the chosen ones, have fought intense battles with anxiety, fear, and even addictions. You have tried to fill the emptiness you felt with things the world offered, but you have found that nothing could satisfy the deep, inexplicable longing within your soul. The world around you seemed a noisy, chaotic place, and you were always trying to find your balance amidst the turmoil. Your identity and personal style changed like the wind, reflecting your inner search for your true self. One day you wanted to be bold, visible, and make a big difference. The next, you wanted to disappear, to blend into the background, to escape the world's gaze and expectations. You carried the burden of feeling everything too deeply and intensely. Friends your age couldn't understand the depths of what you were going through. Often, even your families felt lost, unable to understand or help. This lack of understanding made you feel deeply alone, didn't it? You carried the weight of those years of emotional isolation on your faces, on your bodies. The confusion, the internal battles, the constant misunderstandings were etched into your skin, in your posture, in your eyes. Perhaps you have looked older than your actual age, as if the ancient soul within you was manifesting itself outwardly before its time. You have seen it in the mirror, haven't you? You have felt as if you were living a life far beyond your years, tired before you had even had a chance to truly begin. But now, I want you to understand something of fundamental importance. All of this, every moment of pain, every tear shed, every sleepless night filled with existential questions, was all part of a greater divine plan. You were not lost. You were being prepared. You were not alone. You were being shaped for a purpose that transcends common understanding. As you move forward on this journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, you will begin to see how each piece of the puzzle of your life fits together perfectly. The struggles you have faced have made you stronger. The loneliness you have felt has taught you to value genuine connection. The relentless search for something more has prepared you to receive the deep truths God has for you. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are perfectly suited for the unique mission God has for your lives. Your sensitivity, your depth, your ability to see beyond the surface. These are all precious gifts that the world desperately needs. So as we continue this exploration, I want you to embrace every part of your journey. Celebrate the sensitive child you were, honor the confused teenager who struggled to find his place, and love the adult you are becoming, the one who is finally beginning to understand the purpose behind it all. Remember, you are not getting older. You are maturing. You are not losing your youth. You are gaining wisdom. And as you grow closer and closer to the person God created you to be, you will discover a peace, joy, and strength you never imagined possible. To truly live, many of us go through a crucial phase of transformation. There was a time when the mirror was our greatest enemy, a ruthless judge that reflected not only our image, but our deepest insecurities. In those moments, the reflection that stared back at us seemed like a stranger, a familiar face, but devoid of the essence we knew existed within us. The disconnect was palpable, as if we were inhabiting a body that did not belong to us. The person we saw did not correspond to the inner beauty we longed to express, nor to the strength we knew we possessed within ourselves. It was as if we were trapped in a shell that did not reflect our true essence, a shell that could not contain the greatness of our souls. Along the way, many of us neglected our physical well-being. It wasn't just a matter of not eating the right foods. It was a reflection of a deeper disconnect. Maybe we didn't care enough to properly nourish this body that felt so foreign, or maybe we simply didn't know how to care for this temple we were given. Our bodies, which were supposed to be a sacred home for our souls, became a constant source of discomfort, a painful reminder of the distance between who we were and who we wanted to be. Deep in our hearts, We knew that we were not meant to be like everyone else. This awareness was both a blessing and a curse. The desire to belong, to fit into a box predefined by society, was a constant battle with our unique nature. We desperately wanted to be accepted, to be seen as part of something bigger, even if it meant stifling our true essence. The clothes we wore told this silent story of inner conflict. No matter what we chose, nothing felt right. The clothes were tight in some places, loose in others, a perfect reflection of how we felt inside. Uncomfortable, out of place, misunderstood. It was as if we were trying to fit into an identity that didn't belong to us, forcing our multidimensional selves into one-dimensional molds. But even in the darkest moments of this struggle, something deeper was awakening within us. It was a gentle but insistent call, a voice inviting us to rise above these self-imposed limitations. It was an invitation to take a step toward who we were always meant to be, to embrace our true divine nature. And through it all, even when we felt most lost and alone, God was there. His gentle hand guided us, even when we couldn't feel His presence. In the darkest, most chaotic years, when the world seemed to be spinning out of control, He was molding us through the fire of obstacles, preparing us for a purpose far greater than we could have imagined. We were chosen, loved unconditionally, even when we felt unlovable. God allowed us to walk through storms because He knew what was waiting for us on the other side. Every trial, every tear shed, every moment of doubt, it was all part of a divine plan to refine and prepare us. Over time, something began to change. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, we began to find ourselves. We learned to silence the noise of the world and listen to the gentle whisper of God in our souls. It was in this sacred silence that we began to realize the truth about ourselves and our bodies. We realized that this body, this vessel we had been given, was not something to be neglected or abused. It was a divine gift, a sacred temple that deserved respect and care. We began to nourish it not only with healthy food and exercise, but with peace, stillness, and love. It was a way of honoring the Creator by caring for His creation with reverence and gratitude. The battles we once fought in our minds and hearts began to dissipate like mist beneath the morning sun. The confusion that had so long clouded our identity began to clear, giving way to a calm and clarity we had never experienced before. A deep sense of who we were emerged from the ashes of our former insecurities. The anxiety that once gripped us, the fear that held us back, all of it began to lose its power over us. We stopped looking to external things to fill the void in our souls, and instead allowed God to fill us with His grace, His strength, His divine purpose. And then something truly remarkable happened. We began to look younger, not just physically, but in spirit. The face that had once been lined with stress and confusion now glowed with a peace of knowing who we were in God's eyes. The body that had once been weighed down by inner turmoil now moved with grace and confidence, as if freed from invisible chains. Our personal style also transformed. It was no longer a desperate attempt to fit in or attract attention. It became simple, authentic, a true reflection of the peace we had found within. We were no longer hiding behind trends or expectations. We were wearing the beauty of knowing ourselves and, more importantly, knowing God. People around us began to notice the change. They saw in us an unshakable calm amidst the chaos of the world. There was a sparkle in our eyes, a gentleness in our presence that can only come from someone who has walked through the fire and emerged purified, refined, transformed. Our energy became magnetic, but not in the loud, superficial way the world often values. It was a quiet, powerful force, rooted in something much deeper than flesh and bone. It was God's light shining through us, touching everyone around us in ways we couldn't always see or understand. We no longer felt misunderstood or invisible. We no longer desperately sought understanding from everyone, because we had learned a profound truth. Not everyone is destined to understand our unique journey. We found peace in being set apart, in being chosen for a special purpose. We understand that the chosen ones are not here to blend in with the world, to disappear into the crowd. We are here to transform it, to be light in the darkness, hope in despair, love in a world that often seems cold and indifferent. Yes, we still feel different, but now we embrace that difference with pride and honor. We know that God has placed something unique and precious within us, something the world desperately needs, even if it doesn't yet realize it. The journey was not easy. It took time, patience, and perseverance. There were days when the burden seemed too heavy to bear, moments when anxiety threatened to swallow us whole. But in every moment, even the darkest, God was with us. He saw our tears, witnessed our struggles, was there in every moment of doubt, and in His infinite love, He constantly whispered in our hearts, "Hold on tight, my son, my daughter. I am making something beautiful out of your pain." And now, here we are, standing in the glow of this divine transformation. As we have transformed, people around us have begun to take notice. Some are drawn to the peace that now emanates from us, admiring the strength and beauty that radiates from within. They see the change and are inspired, finding hope for their own journeys. But not everyone responds kindly to our transformation. Some, trapped in their own insecurities, are envious of our growth. Threatened by the light that now shines through us, they may try to tear us down, to dim the radiance we have worked so hard to cultivate. However, they cannot touch us. The strength we carry does not come from ourselves, but from God. The brightness of a soul transformed by divine grace cannot be destroyed by human envy or malice. It is a divine light that remains strong against any attempt to diminish it. What these critics fail to understand is that our transformation is not just physical or superficial. It is a profound spiritual change that permeates every aspect of our being. It is the result of an intimate encounter with the divine, a journey of self-discovery guided by the loving hand of God. This journey of transformation is never-ending. We continue to grow, to learn, to expand. Each day brings new opportunities to shine brighter, to love more deeply, to serve with greater purpose. We are constantly evolving, becoming more authentic and divine versions of ourselves. And so, we invite you, dear reader, to reflect on your own journey. Where are you on this path of self-discovery and transformation? What areas of your life still cry out for healing, acceptance, and love? Remember, you too are chosen, loved unconditionally by a God who sees your true essence and beauty. May we all continue on this sacred journey, embracing each challenge as an opportunity for growth, each moment of doubt as an invitation to deepen our faith. May we be beacons of light and love in a world so in need of hope and healing. You are more than your reflection in the mirror. You are an ever-evolving divine masterpiece, a living testament to God's transformative love. Embrace your unique journey, celebrate your difference, and allow the light within you to shine in all its splendor. The world is waiting to be touched by your unique, divine presence. God's loving and powerful hand constantly guides us, strengthening and perfecting what He, in His infinite wisdom, has built within us. When we look back at photographs of our past, we are surprised by a new perspective. Those images that once caused us discomfort and even shame now reveal themselves as treasures, revealing a hidden beauty that has always been there, waiting to be discovered. With eyes renewed by divine grace, we see a surprising strength in the young eyes we once were. We realize, with a mixture of tenderness and admiration, how blind we were to the intrinsic beauty that always existed within us. This beauty, so pure and authentic, was wrapped in a touching innocence and manifested itself in our daily struggle to find and accept ourselves. The tears that now well up in our eyes no longer carry the weight of shame or regret. They are liquid expressions of a deep love for who we were and who we have become. With hearts full of gratitude, We acknowledge the incredible courage we demonstrated in facing a world that often seemed to neither understand nor accept us. We now understand that true beauty lay not in the superficial perfection we so longed for, but in the inner strength that carried us day after day, despite the emotional burdens we silently carried. We were young, seemingly fragile in the eyes of the world, but our souls harbored unimaginable strength. We recall the many fears and anxieties we faced, the masks we wore not to deceive others, but as shields to protect our vulnerable hearts. Back then, we didn't have the wisdom to realize that God saw us exactly as we were, beautiful, valuable, and loved unconditionally. He gently guided us, even in times when we felt too lost to follow any direction. Today, we look back on these past versions of ourselves not with pity or shame, but with a deep sense of pride and respect. We understand that they did the best they could with the tools and knowledge they had at their disposal. Every experience, every challenge overcome, every tear shed was a brick in the foundation of who we have become. These past versions fought tirelessly for us. For the future we now have the privilege of living. Our gratitude for these past selves is immense and unshakable. We realize now that they loved us in ways we could not even comprehend at the time. They fought silent battles that shaped our souls, forging in us a resilience that defines us today. They were not perfect, and they did not need to be. Their courage lay precisely in continuing to move forward, even when the path seemed impossible. They carried dreams that they may not have had the strength to fulfill at the time, but which they carefully held in their hearts, waiting for the day when we would be ready to make them a reality. As we grow on our spiritual journey, we discover a liberating truth. We no longer need the constant approval of others to feel valid or loved. We come to the profound understanding that we are loved unconditionally by God, the Creator of the universe, and that this love is more than enough. It is an inexhaustible source of strength, confidence, and peace. We embrace our newfound strength with humility and gratitude, never forgetting the younger, more vulnerable versions of ourselves that brought us to this point in our journey. With hearts full of faith, we acknowledge that God has heard each of our prayers, even in the moments when we doubted His presence or His love for us. He has patiently guided us into this present moment, seeing our beauty and strength even when we were blind to them. The radiance that now emanates from us is not the fruit of our efforts alone, but a reflection of divine grace at work in our lives. It is an unwavering light, deeply rooted in our relationship with God, that no external circumstance can dim or extinguish. We now walk with a peace that transcends understanding, carrying the unshakable certainty that we are enough, always have been, and always will be. Our journey continues, but now we walk it hand in hand with God, deeply proud of who we have been, who we have become, and excited about the infinite possibilities that the future holds. Each step we take is a celebration of our unique journey and a living testament to God's transforming love. For those of you who are still in the midst of the struggle, facing internal battles and struggling with your self-image, we leave you with a message of hope and encouragement. You are infinitely stronger, more resilient, and more beautiful than you could ever imagine. God is with you every step of the way, just as He has always been. The day will come when you too will look back and see, with crystal clarity, the strength, courage, and beauty that has always been present within you. You are becoming, day by day, exactly the person that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, created you to be. And this identity, this divine essence that dwells within you, is something so precious and so firmly established that nothing and no one can ever take it away from you. May we all continue on this journey of self-discovery and self-love, always aware of God's unconditional love for us and the unique beauty He has placed within each of us. May our light shine ever brighter, illuminating not only our path but also the path of those around us, spreading hope, love, and the liberating truth that we are all loved and valuable in the eyes of God.